Canada and the United States have long shared a close and multifaceted relationship. This bond has been built over centuries of cooperation, mutual respect, and shared values. From trade agreements to military alliances, the two countries have often stood shoulder to shoulder in both prosperous and challenging times. Geographically intertwined and economically interdependent, the proximity of the two nations has fostered a unique partnership. The vast border they share is not just a line on a map, but a testament to their intertwined destinies. The two nations have been staunch allies on the world stage, collaborating on global issues ranging from security to environmental protection. Their joint efforts in international forums have often amplified their influence and reach. However, in recent years, a subtle but significant shift has begun to reshape Canada's diplomatic priorities. This shift is not abrupt, but rather a calculated and strategic move to adapt to the changing global landscape. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Mark Carney, Canada has embarked on a path of greater independence and global engagement. Carney's vision is to position Canada as a proactive player on the world stage rather than a reactive one. This new direction involves strengthening ties with traditional allies in Europe. By deepening these relationships, Canada aims to bolster its economic and political influence in the region. Additionally, Canada is cultivating deeper partnerships in Asia, recognizing the continent's growing importance in global affairs. These efforts are aimed at diversifying Canada's economic dependencies and opening new avenues for trade and cooperation. This strategic pivot signals a move away from the overwhelming dominance of the US in Canadian foreign policy. It reflects a broader understanding that in an increasingly multipolar world, Canada must engage with a variety of global players. This shift is not a complete break from the US. The historical and strategic ties between the two nations remain strong and are expected to continue. The two countries remain vital economic and security partners. Their collaboration in areas such as defense, trade, and environmental protection continues to be crucial for both nations. However, it represents a recognition that Canada's interests are best served by diversifying its relationships. By engaging with a broader array of countries, Canada seeks to enhance its global standing and resilience. Engaging with the world on its own terms allows Canada to pursue a more balanced and independent foreign policy. This approach is designed to maximize the country's strategic advantages and minimize its vulnerabilities. This essay will explore the reasons behind Canada's diplomatic shift, examine its key elements, and analyze the potential implications for Canada's future. By understanding these dynamics, we can better appreciate the evolving role of Canada on the global stage. As Canada looks beyond its southern border, it is charting a course for a more diversified and dynamic engagement with the world. This journey is not just about redefining relationships, but also about reimagining Canada's place in the global order. The seeds of Canada's diplomatic shift were sown during a period of heightened trade tensions with the United States. This period marked a significant turning point in the long-standing relationship between the two neighboring countries. Historically, Canada and the US have enjoyed a robust partnership, characterized by mutual respect and cooperation. However, the imposition of tariffs by the Trump administration began to unravel this intricate web of diplomacy and trade. The Trump administration's imposition of tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum in 2018, citing national security concerns, sent shockwaves through the Canadian economy. These tariffs were not just economic measures. They were perceived as a direct challenge to the integrity of the Canadian industry. The steel and aluminum sectors, vital to Canada's economic health, faced immediate repercussions. Factories in cities like Hamilton, Ontario, saw a decline in production, leading to job losses and economic uncertainty. The move was widely seen as an affront to a close ally and a violation of the spirit of free trade that had long characterized the US-Canada relationship. For decades, the two nations had worked together to foster an environment of open markets and shared prosperity. The tariffs, however, introduced a new era of skepticism and mistrust. Canadian officials were left grappling with the implications of these actions, questioning the future of their economic ties with the US. Further tariffs on Canadian automotive parts and agricultural products followed, deepening the rift between the two countries. The automotive industry, another cornerstone of Canada's economy, was hit hard. Plants that manufactured car parts faced increased costs and reduced demand. Similarly, Canadian farmers who had long relied on the US market for their produce found themselves in a precarious position. The agricultural sector, already vulnerable to market fluctuations, now had to navigate the added challenge of trade barriers. These disputes, coupled with the unpredictable nature of US trade policy under the Trump administration, forced Canada to confront its heavy reliance on the US market. Canadian policymakers began to explore alternative markets and strategies to mitigate the risks associated with such dependency. The Trade Minister, in numerous press conferences, emphasized the need for a more resilient and diversified trade portfolio. This period of uncertainty spurred a national conversation about economic sovereignty and the importance of building stronger ties with other global partners. The experience highlighted the vulnerability of Canada's economy to protectionist measures and underscored the need for greater diversification in its trading partnerships. As a result, Canada began to actively seek new trade agreements with countries in Europe, Asia, and beyond. Economic conferences and meetings with diverse trading partners became more frequent, signaling a strategic shift in Canada's approach to international trade. This proactive stance aimed to ensure that Canada's economic future would be less susceptible to the whims of any single nation, fostering a more stable and prosperous environment for its industries and citizens. Prime Minister Mark Carney, a former central banker with a deep understanding of global economics, came to office in 2023 with a vision for a more independent and globally engaged Canada. His extensive experience in international finance and policy making has equipped him with the insights needed to navigate the complexities of the global landscape. Carney's leadership is characterized by a forward-thinking approach aiming to position Canada as a key player on the world stage. He believes that by fostering stronger international relationships and diversifying Canada's global partnerships, the nation can achieve greater economic stability and resilience. This vision is not just about economic gains, but also about enhancing Canada's influence in global governance and international affairs. Recognizing the limitations of relying too heavily on any single partner, Carney sought to expand Canada's diplomatic horizons and forge new alliances based on shared values and mutual interests. This strategic shift is aimed at reducing vulnerabilities and ensuring that Canada remains adaptable in the face of global uncertainties. By engaging with a broader spectrum of countries, Canada can tap into new markets, foster innovation through diverse collaborations, and contribute to global stability. Carney's approach emphasizes the importance of multilateralism and the need for Canada to be an active participant in international organizations and forums. Carney's vision is rooted in the belief that Canada can leverage its strengths as a middle power, its reputation for multilateralism, its commitment to international rules and norms, and its diverse and dynamic economy to play a more prominent role on the global stage. He envisions Canada as a bridge builder, facilitating dialogue and cooperation among nations. This involves not only participating in, but also leading initiatives that address global challenges such as climate change, cybersecurity, and international trade. By doing so, Canada can help shape a more just and sustainable world order. This proactive approach to foreign policy, dubbed Canada in the World, aims to strengthen Canada's security, enhance its prosperity, and promote its values in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. It underscores the importance of a comprehensive strategy that integrates economic security and humanitarian dimensions. By investing in defense and development, supporting international peacekeeping missions, and advocating for human rights, Canada can project its values globally. Carney's vision is one of a confident and outward-looking Canada, ready to meet the challenges of the 21st century with determination and optimism. A cornerstone of Canada's diplomatic shift has been a renewed emphasis on strengthening ties with traditional allies in Europe. Prime Minister Carney has made multiple trips to European capitals, including Paris, Berlin, and London, seeking to deepen cooperation on a range of issues, from trade and investment to defense and security. Canada's Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, or CETA, with the European Union, which entered into force in 2017, has laid the foundation for increased trade and investment flows between the two regions. Canada sees Europe as a natural partner in its efforts to promote a rules-based international order and counter the rise of protectionism and unilateralism. The two sides are also exploring ways to enhance cooperation on climate change, cybersecurity, and other global challenges. In addition to strengthening ties with Europe, Canada has also been actively engaged in expanding its partnerships in the Asia-Pacific region. Recognizing the region's growing economic and geopolitical importance, Canada has sought to deepen its engagement with key players like Japan, South Korea, and India, while also exploring new opportunities for cooperation with Southeast Asian nations. Canada's participation in the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or CPTPP, a free trade agreement among 11 Pacific Rim countries, has provided a framework for enhanced trade and investment with the region. Canada is also seeking to strengthen its security and defense cooperation with Asia-Pacific partners, participating in joint military exercises and dialogues aimed at promoting regional stability and security. Please subscribe and support our team by joining this channel. Your membership helps us grow.